Every punch he threw felt like it had her name written on it. She was the very air he breathed, the reason he dragged himself to the gym at dawn, the reason he pushed his body past every conceivable limit. He could still hear his own voice, full of hope and a little bit of foolish bravado, telling her, "One day I'll be a champion, I promise. And you'll be right there in the front row watching me win it all for us." That promise echoed in his ears, a constant reminder of what he was fighting for. It wasn't just about a title. It was about building a future, a kingdom where she would be his queen. The day finally arrived. Fight night. The arena was a dizzying kaleidoscope of flashing lights and the deafening roar of the crowd. His heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic drumbeat matching the energy of the thousands of people screaming his name. But none of that mattered. As he stepped into the ring, his eyes weren't on his opponent or the referee or even the championship belt gleaming under the spotlights. He was scanning the stands, his gaze desperately sweeping across the front row, searching for that one familiar face, that one smile that could calm the storm inside him. The first bell rang. The fight began. Round 1. He moved, he jabbed, he dodged, all on instinct. But between every frantic exchange, every brief moment of separation from his opponent, his eyes would dart back to the stands, searching, hoping. The seat, the one he had saved for her, remained stubbornly, painfully empty. Round 2. Round 3. Still nothing. A cold knot began to form in his stomach, heavier than any punch he could ever take. She wasn't coming. The realization hit him, but it didn't break him. Instead, a strange calm settled over him. He had to fight. He had to fight as if she was there. He had to keep his promise even if she couldn't keep hers. So he fought. He fought like she was watching every move, critiquing every punch, cheering with every successful combination. Every drop of sweat that fell from his brow, every gasp for breath, every smear of blood. It was all for her. He pictured her face, her encouraging words, the way her eyes would light up when he talked about his dreams. He channeled that memory, that love, into his fists. He wasn't just fighting another man in the ring. He was fighting against the crushing weight of her absence, against the doubt, against the heartbreak. He was fighting to prove that his love, his dedication, was real, even if he was the only one left fighting for it. By the final rounds, the tide had turned. His opponent seemed to have found a second wind. The punches were coming faster, hitting harder. The crowd could sense the shift, their roars turning into a collective gasp with every blow he took. He was exhausted. His body screamed in protest, his vision blurred at the edges. He could feel his legs threatening to give out from under him. The easy thing to do would be to fall, to let the canvas catch him, to let the fight be over. But he couldn't. He wouldn't. This wasn't for the roaring crowd. It wasn't for the fleeting fame or the glittering prize money. This was for a love that had once been his entire world. He dug deep, pulling strength from a well he didn't even know he possessed. He remembered her laugh, the warmth of her hand in his, the promises whispered in the dark. He pushed back. One more punch, then another. He fought not with his muscles, but with his heart, with every ounce of shattered hope he had left. The final bell rang, and for a moment there was only silence in his own world. The roar of the crowd, a distant hum. Then the referee grabbed his arm and raised it to the sky. He had won. He was the champion. The crowd erupted. His corner team swarmed him, hugging him, shouting in his ear. Someone wrapped the cold, heavy championship belt around his waist. It was the moment he had dreamed of, bled for, sacrificed everything for. But as he stood in the center of the ring under the blaze of the lights, he didn't smile. His victory felt hollow. The cheers felt empty. He slowly walked out of the ring, his gaze fixed on that one empty seat in the front row. The seat where she should have been. He stood there for a long moment, the noise of the arena fading away until all he could hear was the beating of his own broken heart. And in a voice so quiet it was lost to the world, he whispered to the empty space, "I fought for you, even when you stopped fighting for me. Thank you for watching this story unfold. If it moved you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one."